lane matchups are going to be. It is a double Shurima soul laners here, and it's going to be Vayne as the answer. So they maintain the ability to flex the Anivia, and of course now with that Vayne coming out, that is going to be hunting this Croc here.
The lower health he had, making it a bit tricky for him to really take this fight. You can see Broken Blade thinking about moving from the top side. Faker with the push in mid, though now Skirmishes will just... I mean, he keeps stepping back. It feels a little greedy to continue to look for this play, especially with Keria moving out on the map, with he's also on top side. Doran slices, dices, but is still taken out.
And it just looks like a bit of a greedy base. He thought he had the reset here, and BB says, you know what? You can't actually take it from this position. And Doran, I think, hesitated a bit on, like, can I fight? Can I run? Took that split second to
Meanwhile,
decide.
the Razor Beaks, there's a fear tether onto LeBron. He flashes away, still hit by the fear. Caps can't move from mid lane. He was holding him pinned beneath that tower. This was really nice from Keria. After taking the topside Scuttle Crab, he actually pathed into the G2 jungle towards the Razor Beaks to stop LeBron from stepping forward. And then, as the bot side Scuttle Crab was taken by Ona, he stepped in towards the Razor Beaks as well to try and contest those.
And look at this, Skirmishes trying to move up and actually get something here. Faker has been pushed back, he's out of mana, so now Caps can move in to assist because Skirmishes got double scuttled.
And now, Ona on the wrong side of that Crystallize, does still have Flash. Keria on his way. Faker stayed around. The Razor Beaks almost secured, down to 200 as Caps tries to trade in. Keria across the wall will get one fear tether towards the top side, as well as Caps is already down to Faker. LeBron too late. Skirmishes has to flash across the wall. Ona flashes for the chase, and G2 are just too damn greedy. T1 punished.
I mean, I think Faker, you know, he's not known for the laning phase, but I do think in general.
Keria
swing and a
miss. Caps flashes, doesn't get the hookshot wall dive. Faker there with the miasma. LeBron forced to walk away. Paranoia, paranoia! Everyone's out to get you. Caps as Shroud of Darkness comes down onto Ona. Underneath the tower, he takes a couple of shots. Caps with a great Crystallize will lock Ona against the wall. Shield of Daybreak for the stun. Flash Frost for the follow! And Ona is frozen in the enemy jungle while Broken Blade tries to trade with Doran towards this top side. Final hour has been used. Dashes away from the Dominus and won't go for any much further trading. Behind the tower, behind the alcove though, he gets sliced up
early on, which is almost a totality of combat power that Doran had.
Rather than Skirmishes looking for Ona here, the reaction from Keria, fast, rapid as he tries to get across here in time. The True Shot Barrage will take out the T1 jungler.
Dominus up, so he pushes him back, waits for the cooldowns, goes over the wall with the ward and kills him. Really well played there by Doran, and a pretty big mistake from BB, fighting without having bot yet.
Yeah, not actually using any of that gold lead as the flash Zenith Blade goes in. Paranoia in the backline, that's going to be the egg out of Caps, but the fear going out, he manages to escape. Skirmishes already killed off Faker. TPs from either side as Pace joins the battle, as does Hans Summer. Ona in the midst of them all, caught out in the Cataclysm, and now locked in the cage by G2. Broken Blade trading with Pace towards the bottom side. He condemns him back as he condemned him to death. Has been showing that they can fist fight in that first 15 minutes of the game. Keria is looking up towards this top side as Doran tries to get on top of Broken Blade. Final hour to try and get away. Broken Blade looking for the silver bolts. Keria going forward. BB dashes away, uses the invisibility well. Skirmishes flag drag. Caps here too. BB, you just can't find him! You just can't find that Broken Blade! And with it, he'll slice you up a double.
He did go for the hookshot up, but couldn't quite get in range. Broken Blade bought enough time there for Caps to arrive. Gold leads across the map here. Early Roa finished up there by Caps, and G2 feeling like they're cruising.
Series that they managed to battle back from.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't won until their Nexus has exploded, right? Like, that is the reality, is these are playmakers.
Exhaust on Doran, no flash for him. Slices first flag and drag there for the follow-up, and Doran just doesn't get a chance to move. Broken Blade with his second of the game. Managed to get a little bit more gold in their pockets as they were giving up that dragon. Paranoia onto Hans Summer, no way out for him. Great combination there.
Bot side, we are losing minions down here on this bot side, so they are pushing for this neutral. Gonna be able to grab the Herald here, I think, uncontested. But no one goes down, trade of sums, Caps gets gold. You know it, they're sending 3 members top. Even if they can't kill him, they want to zone him off this turret, but G2 have moved way faster on this bot lane. They're going to be able to get the first tower for sure.
Well, using his teleport, there's the Drake. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. T1 might want to fight this. Caps is just TP'd away, and Broken Blade doesn't have his TP up. Because of that, G2 begin to back away. Keria looking for the Paranoid. Grey Hex, they ultimatum to stop the flag and drag out means that it has to be a flash invested from the G2 jungler. Caps has moved down from top to try and make this a 4v5.
I think Lebrov sees saving him, and yeah, Lebrov just runs straight up, blocked by James. locks him down, not quite in range. Otherwise, Skewmon would be dead. Not only does that save a kill, that means you get a dragon here in a situation where you otherwise wouldn't have.
We're going to get chased down here for a second.
Still feeling pretty comfortable here. It's going to be about the team fights, though. It had opened up to, I want to say, around maximum 2.5, 2.8K lead for G2. At pulling the trigger when you make a mistake. Sometimes you don't even know that you have made it yet, and they already know they won the fight.
They're so good at that. Also really good at getting the vision control. And BB waited it out well. Solar Flare on Faker. Zenith played there for the follow-up. Great petrifying gaze. Clips Cap's wings for a second, but with a true shot barrage coming down and the exhaust there as well, Faker's going to have to work some magic to get out of this one. The rest of T1 on the offensive, though. Faker will fall, but at what cost for G2? The dive in with the Hexag Ultimatum as Caps has turned into drumsticks. Lebrov, no protoplasm harness can save you from Pays as the chase continues for T1 and Lebrov falls to the bouncing bomb.
And G2 fall prey. It's not even Spellbook Exhaust as BB.
Broken Blade dodging away from Carrier, who tries to find him with the flash. The blast cone there for him. Will use it after the Hexag Ultimatum pulled back straight into the waiting arms of Pays, who gets his third of the game.
Yeah, Carrier looks for the hookshot flash, does not find it, but it doesn't matter because he finds him with the ultimatum.
Solar Flare down onto Faker. Zenith played there for the follow-up. A Petrifying Gaze will buy him a couple of seconds, but with the Flash Frost coming in, Faker is no longer on the rift. Paranoia used in response. It's only Ona here, but he's enough, it seems. The chase away from Caps and Lebrov with Carrier on his way. A flash from the Shield of Daybreak, but the Frostbite burns him down. G2 able to take a 2-for-1 on the top side. Meanwhile, Doran and Pays stayed bot to get the tier 2.
Man, this is a crazy game.
Control around this Drake that they will start. T1. Do you stick or do you twist? Looks like they've decided they're not sticking around. They'll go up towards the top side. They'll give the Drake over to G2.
Zonia's already being worked towards on Caps. Broken Blade is going to be going for a much more tanky build on the Vayne top.
Carrier going for Caps. He does have Egg, but in the Hexag Ultimatum in the Paranoia Solar Flare. There's the Seekers. The stopwatch from Caps with the Crystallized down. He will get scrambled. The question is, will the Egg fall as well? Super Mega Death Inferno Bomb enough with Faker and the Twin Fangs, and now T1 continue their advance. G2 on the retreat to their own jungle. Doran looking for the flank across towards the side, gets the Movers better stun. Lebrov's going to fall to T1 as Ona takes that kill. Ansama stepping in, but he's on Miasma now. You don't step to Faker.
Flashes in and gets punished by the GOAT there. Goes forward, shifts in, could not flash out because of the miasma. Gives away another kill there, and we'll see, does T1 start the Baron? Looks like they want to. And with the Casio, it is going to be going down in a hurry here. Skewmon is around, has ult, has no flash, but Pays is going to be there to try to bodyguard. It's up to him and BB.
It's G2v4, Doran with his Pez, a flash across the walls. Skewmon Cataclysm doesn't come down in time. As with the final hour, maybe the final breaths here for Broken Blade. He'll get the enemy jungler, but it's not going to be enough. T1 know they have the time to take the Baron as G2 lose another 2 and lose the big purple worm.
That one really hurts as this fight gave such big reward.
The Hextech Ultimatum into a Mega Inferno Bomb is going to hurt as they look for Caps again. The flash from Carrier, and here's the combo. Solar Flare, stopwatch Pays, brings down the bomb, but Caps flash out, so it's in time. Petrifying Gaze doesn't land the stun. The Crystallize to try and divide the fight. Trusha Barrage coming across the side as Lebrov does fall low, healing up. Not enough from the Protoplasm. Skewmon gets across and dives on Faker. The Cataclysm down, Skewmon heals with the Sundered Sky as Broken Blade tries to dive on the back line, and T1 have stepped a little bit too far. And G2 are punishing. Doran will fall. A 3-for-1 so far in the exchanges. Ansama once more. Hayes will try and take a tower. We'll be able to do it quickly with the short fuse and the satchel.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see when we came out of the replay, how Owner was taking that damage. Critical error, and you get picked off during the Baron. Because if you all die during the Baron, then obviously the game is just over.
Yeah. And here's a pick, perhaps, as the Paranoia goes in. Broken Blade with the final hour, still going to get feared, and Doran's here to help. Pays comes in just to make sure that the LEC top laner is taken out. T1 find T1 are pushing through mid and bot while they have a player advantage. G2 trying to find them. It's Shroud of Darkness from Owner will spell shield the Solar Flare. Carrier and Faker alongside Pays able to take down the mid tower. The gold lead extends. G2 start up the Baron, and this is it. Do or die in this game one of this best of 5. T1 begin to collapse. The battle line's drawn between the two teams as Carrier dives in. The Mega Inferno Bomb just kills Broken Blade exactly where he stands, and now it's all on Skewmon and Ansama alongside Lebrov to get this one through, but it's a double already for Pays while Doran distracts and delays G2 from getting any closer to the damage dealers. Baron secured. Carrier hit by a flash. Frost dives to the side of Caps, but with the rest of T1 here for the chase. Caps is doomed. A bouncing bomb and flashed across, but there's no tower here to save him. Carrier could go back in, but Caps with the storm will slow him down, try and take him out. He dodges to the side of the Malignants and manages to spot Pays. Hansama across the wall, trying to take it down. True Shot Barrage clips onto Pays. 4K on the Dragon. Mega Inferno once again!
G2 though has played for mid prior. You can see BB has full
Carrier
push.
was spotted. Carrier was spotted on the flank as the Rift Scuttle Crab, the first target. Skewmond gets it. T1 force back Doran and Broken Blade trading in the mid lane. Carrier looking for the flank. Crystallize doesn't find him. The Drake at 7K. T1 trying to find the poke. True Shot Barrage goes through Faker, takes a third of his health. BB the first to move here, but Doran TP's behind on that ward we previously mentioned. Paranoia out the smite, 90 HP taken by Ona. And now the fight perhaps for T1 as the Paranoia goes in. The Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't collect anyone as Lebrov is taken out first. Ona with the GA. Caps trying to walk away. Flashes the wall. Doran condemned to death. Broken Blade trying to get out with the final hour. The flag and drag in as Hansama kills Ona. Faker falling low, as is Carrier and G2 still have 4 alive. And they want to make sure T1 don't walk out of this without another scratch, without another skirmish. Faker almost down, flag and drag out from Skewmon. The TP back in from Broken Blade as he wants to chase out Faker and Pays.
They got to try to get out of there, but G2 don't want to let them base here. This is not going to be an easy way to get out. BB,
a final hour, gets onto Pays, locks him against the wall and takes him down. Faker will escape. Faker will survive, and G2 only will get the Baron out of it. The Drake secured by T1.
And some big outplays on the side of G2. Caps was just dancing back and forth in his own ultimate, and Doran tried to get in range to actually stun him, and he just gets slowed so massively that he couldn't actually close the gap. Then offensively, that was used defensively. He's ulting away from the other G2 members towards Skewmon to get out. And we'll see, Pays just working to wave clear here. G2 on Soul Point as our T1 and this Baron doing some work. And there's the Seekers for Hans that we talked about so far ago. I really do think it's smart, especially with no flash being available here for Hans. Makes it so much harder.
To find gaze onto Lebrov, looking for the CC, can't land, it just gets the slow. G2 pushing in mid. Doran going to be answered by Hansama, and a couple of pings come out on him immediately as it's like, who? Why is the AD carry down here? Because Broken Blade can continue to push in on the bottom side.
And Hans has TP, so that's why he's answering right now. There's no TP on Broken Blade, so Hans answers with his teleport, so they can't get the extra man. Doran is trying to sneak in behind him, but G2 are pushing with this Baron.
Goes in with the slice with the dice, gets the Ruthless Predator, looking for the stun as Hansama just absolutely eviscerates him. Turned into shoes is the Croc, as G2 find a solo kill on the top side.
I mean, Hans made that look so easy. I never even saw the stun going on there. But now they're going to TP in. It's 45 seconds here on Doran. They've already lost 2 inhibs. And T1 need to hold on. Only 30 seconds left on that Baron buff, and then maybe they can wave clear. But G2 want to end game 1 right here, right now.
T1, everyone on the defense. The Nexus Tower is the first target for G2 as the Miasma goes down and Caps chases Ona out. Caps has that X. First Nexus Tower fallen. G2 looking to raise the base of T1 and raise the flag for EU as the dive comes in, but the die comes in for T1. G2 defeats T1 in game 1. They take them out in the team fights.
Beautifully done here from G2. Even Broken Blade had a Seeker.
With the Mel, if she can land her Searing Brilliance and then have the Golden Eclipse coming down at the same time as the Hound's Pursuit is there for the follow-up, you do so. This is the hardest counter for Yorick Top, man. I hated playing into this when I was doing my Yorick Top challenge.
Okay, so I will say, I don't agree. Just going to show up and get blasted, and we have the longest game of MSI in game 1. Very back and forth. G2 comes out on top.
Flash forward from Carrier into the Bone Skewer, and Ona's here for the chase. He won't even be needed, but lands the Darking Daggers and does take the kill.
It is always... We actually can't spend the time to claim the Dragon now, so they are forced back by that disengage.
Oh, Grand Star full flash forward as there was a flash away from Doran, but Broken Blade's here for the chase. Caps across the wall with the Scatter the Weak as well. Won't allow the Undertaker out. It's Hell in a Cell, and G2 one of these grubs. Don't have the smite on Ona, but will manage to take it, so it will be a 1-for-2 grub exchange as Broken Blade, after teleporting, looks like he is just going to go top. Pays and Carrier have been swapped up to that lane. Hansama's going to be left to his own devices against the Yorick down in that bottom side.
Yep, you can see Doran has his ult back up and just trying to get to level 11 where that
Last rights can do quite a bit of work. There is the Maiden helping as well,
Oh
of
God,
course. It's going to be
close.
incredibly close between these two as the first tower of the game is so
Owner's
tight.
coming.
Owner comes across. It will be T1. They'll get it with the last rights. G2 just 2 seconds too late.
And that's all that counts. And they're able to get it. You know, you can see Owner wasn't 100% confident that they were going to get it in the 2v2, so he's like, all right, I'll get down there.
It as well. You can manipulate how much it steps forward, how much it steps back as Lebrov and Caps look for Faker on this bottom side. Unleash power onto Faker, takes him down to a third. Carrier on the flank, though. Lebrov will land the stun onto Owner, stopping T1's idea of taking this fight. G2 investing 4 players around here for now, as Caps perhaps will just look for the Crystalline overgrowth as Faker wisely walks away from the Dark Sphere and the Force of Will.
It's actually the Crystalline over Goat that he was going
Oh
for
my
there.
goodness. Oh, they jump onto Caps. It's Carrier, death from below as Caps is taken out. Lebrov trying to chase out this Pike. Hans Sommer on his way through the magical journey. Carrier needs some fancy feet to get away, and Hans Sommer comes in to secure the kill. A lot of gold to Hans Sommer there as Skewmond and Owner butt heads in the river. And both of them able to escape the flash from Skewmond enough to keep him alive.
The stat sheet will show a solo kill for Carrier, but of course, Caps was very low.
Skewmond just to the side of the steering, brilliance. And with the Tempered Fate, Pays rebuts Lebrov. Solar Snare out as well as Faker is looking for more. He has the flash and Skewmond now in range. The Aegis Assault, no movement speed for him. Faker takes it. Hans Sommer now needs to get the hell out of dodge, but T1 are collapsing perfectly. The flash across the wall.
Here comes
Where's Carrier? Pike can smell blood in the water. A bone skewer goes to Narnia, but it didn't need to hit. Faker takes the kill.
Yeah, Faker looks so good on these sort of champions where he can get out on the map, where he can roam, where he can really play. Just so proactive, right? You know, just getting busy on the map here, moving around with T1. They're looking for Caps.
Phantom on the toe, Carrier down to Caps as Owner tries to trade back in. Lebrov going the long way round, looking for the Caretaker's blessing, and it will be enough. The magical journey. Owner still dashing, a dark and dagger will get him with the bleed, but Caps gets a shutdown in response. Meanwhile, Broken Blade trying to survive on the top side as Pays brings down the Golden Eclipse, but it's
his
not
team to keep this guy off of him. Obviously, you can sidestep as much as you want, but that's only going to do so much.
G2 are TPing Broken Blade in here. Oh, great dodge with the call of the pack as Broken Blade tries to step forward onto Faker, who will just walk away. Doran, their next target, shield rolled in from Skewmond. Doran flashes into the back of the Herald Pit. The rest of T1 now trying to collapse on Caps and Lebrov, but Doran is just nom by Broken Blade. G2 wrest control of the Herald Pit out of T1's hands, and it looks like T1 have given up the ghost on it.
Yeah, that was really well played there by G2. They just kind of came in and they split up T1. They push back Faker as well as Doran on one Dragon here. And we'll find out if that early work on the Dragons is going to be rewarded by a powerful soul. G2 definitely hoping it will not be, but it is Ocean, which definitely not the one that T1 are hoping for. They're a relatively squishy team. Ocean not going to do much for champions like Nefiri and Mel and Pike, but any soul is a valuable soul.
Death from below used for the stun with the Realm Warp follow-up. Caps, you can unleash whatever power you want, but Faker and Carrier combine to take him out.
Start to push Faker ahead. BB trying to get some gold back on the other side of the map, and he is the big advantage for the team.
Yeah.
He has got to be the guy who is creating space for those carries, getting into the mix, but you don't want to overextend because this champion is so slow, so low on mobility.
Grand Starfall onto Faker. T1 running up through the river, but Faker's running the wrong direction and has no Realm Warp to get out of this one. They might try and just give it over to Caps. Skewmond autos one more time. Caps is here. The shutdown does go to Skew. Meanwhile, Culling used into the rebuttal. Broken Blade tried to trade onto Pays. Hans Sommer dashes in, and Carrier is devoured. The Tempered Fate not quite in time to save him from the bleed as G2
find a window to punish their opponents.
The push comes in from T1, and with the grub damage, the tower will fall. Faker walks in to make sure it does as the mid-tier
pressure. Faker still pushing bot for now. Does have the Realm Warp.
Maiden pulled back with the Force of Will. Taken out with the charge from the Herald, and even with the Dark Perception, Skewmond's still able to get away. Look at Faker coming up. He's going to have the Realm Warp, but look at Doran. He has nothing left. Another charge here It's Caps riding the Herald towards the tower there. The plates, rebuttal out. Faker still waiting to see if he can come across with a Temper Fate hitting, and Pays with no escape. BB on a rampage. This Cho'Gath is unstoppable as Owners forced to eviscerate away as G2 eviscerate T1.
Yeah, T1 getting punished so heavily there. I think Doran really didn't realize the amount of health on that tower, and now G2 are just going to go to Baron because he thought he could defend there, but the tower was one shot by the Herald, and now this is problems for T1. They're just going to decide to give it, but T1, it was dead even just a minute ago, and now it is going to be an over 2.5k gold lead here for G2 as Doran dies for free, and then the rest of T1 kind of caught off guard, and it felt like overstayed their welcome. Pays goes down as well.
Importantly for T1, they will get an Ocean Drake. They are on sole point now as Doran has stepped forward, and a Grand Starfall into a shield bolt. Oh, Doran, you just got back out on the map! Skewmund with his second, and for T1, things are falling apart.
They are, especially for Doran and maybe Pays.
Puts the rebuttal down. They haven't unleashed power from Caps, but he held onto it. Bone Skewer out. G2 will settle with 4 plates out of that tower as Broken Blade the target for Faker and Ona, but BB might just win this in the 1v2. Feral Scream dodged away from TP behind as Caps looks to join the play, and T1's desperation has turned into G2's desert. Caps comes across, Ona out from the unleashed power, a realm warp out from Faker. The Scream. It's looking like G2 with this Baron push are gonna go to about 5.5k ahead. The Red Bull Baron power play still 90 seconds remaining on it here as Zale. The gold exploding.
I mean, you never want to count T1 out, but this game is starting to look very, very grim for them. Doran has been completely useless on this Yorick. Really put down and not able to do anything in these team fights, and they just can't get past the Cho'Gath. I mean, look at him. He's just standing in their face, tanking all the damage while tower after tower dies. Doran's still pushing top, and we can see it in the Coinbase gold grind. Massive lead for Broken Blade. Owner's trying to threaten something, but T1 at least clear out that wave and buy some time for Doran to get some towers.
Good damage from the Spell Flux out of the Rise. It was bouncing onto Hans Sommer, onto Caps, and Broken Blade can't block that.
And a big spike for Faker is going to be coming. Is that 8 stacks
coming across here to see perhaps if he can find a steal. Quarter of the pack will jump him out of any CC possibilities, but in the end, G2 do get...
And that is exactly what they're trying to do. They want Doran to TP at the very least.
Doran's still pushing through the bot side right now. Broken Blade pulled back into the Baron pit. Carrier there, Grand Starfall towards the backline as they go for Ona. Tempered Fate hitting onto 2 as well. G2 looking for the fight instead. The knock-up from Broken Blade means that Pays has no place to go. Doran does TP, but too late to save anyone. Another knock-up, another Doran death as G2 find 2 around the Baron.
The Yorick has just been digging his own grave this game time and time again as G2 making it look easy, and Labrov has been catching everyone with these ults. The 2-man ult on Pays and Faker post-Pays flash means that it is just lights out for T1 in that fight. Owner trying to find a way in, but this is not a 50-50. I just don't see it happening.
I mean, Broken Blade is the one marking him, so if Owner could get past BB towards the Baron, it would have been, but G2 do secure their second of the game.
It's hard to play Pyke in the late game in times like this.
Bone Skewer onto Broken Blade, Rupture coming down. There's a Solar Snare for the follow-up, and Faker's here from the side trying to machine gun down this Cho'Gath, but Faker realizes there's only one big dog here as Broken Blade's going to force him away. The Temper Fate hits the backline, and G2 pounce! Pays brings out a golden eclipse, but there's only darkness for T1 as Carrier is forced away, and the culling finds the Undertaker. Yorick down, 3 down, G2 pushing through mid.
G2 are about to bring us the match point here. Carrier's trying to cut the wave, but they still have the Baron cannon. G2 just have to defend it and push in for the win.
BB is absolutely massive. The Hound's pursuit does nothing against G2. It is 1 away from glory, 1 away from their first best-of-5 win against T1 in 7 years. G2.
There is kind of these two things, working
Unstoppable
here.
Force and movable objects.
Exactly. G2, has not been reverse swept, but T1 never really gets 3-0'd. So those are two sides there.
I mean, so. Here's the thing, T1 could win this game and then G2 win. I talked about the possibility of a 3-camp into longsword. He's actually staying around a little bit longer here. Owner, as Broken Blade goes in, Wallet doesn't connect. Owner here with that level 3. Broken Blade looking for the Mortal Steel, has to try and dash away, but still, even with the Wallet falling short, Broken Blade has no way out. First blood, Owner. Nice. Get the root.
It is always a weird spot when you have 600 gold, which I'm assuming that's what he based with, because he goes Cole refillable, right? Oh, pays.
Skewmon in with the Ishtal's impact. They'll catch Alpeo's handshake back as well, but Pays able to survive. Burns the barrier with a flash! But Hun Summer burns it down and flashes away from the Gleaming Quill. All summoners lost. The next minion, and Doran, expecting that, didn't want to get caught out.
Well, Doran got his E interrupted, and he could go for Q flash.
Broken Blade flashes in. A last breath for Doran, begins to dash away, but he has no flash left. The Steel Tempest needs to connect, and Broken Blade.
600 gold up after you got a 3-camp gank from your jungler. That is a disaster class from Doran, and G2 up 1k early.
Faker here as well. Jumping in as they look for Lebrov, and Lebrov will fall. Skewmon trying to contest with only his support. The Blade Caller there for the root. Skewmon needs the Ishtal's impact to get away and will manage to, after the HLE loss that was so disappointing for all of EU. To show up like this, to have 3 games where he has been dominant. As we see the handshake coming back, grand entrance there as well. Feather Storm, Hans Summer has a bailout on him. Chain of Corruption down, Hans Summer will come back to life with the barrier. Pays, flashes away and survives, almost dies. Lebrov flashes for him, but the auto can't get in range because he's not able to see him. Great play from the T1 bot lane to get out of that alive.
Yeah, and T1 bot lane, they needed some momentum. They needed some life in this series here, and they show up big time when they need it most. Hans, did his flash come up after he died? Was it that tight? I really want to see that back. And maybe the observers could track that.
Blade Caller, well played. Pays walked around outside of vision. Lebrov trying to hold the way for his AD carry, but it costs him dearly.
Yeah, and Hans not going to be able to get in and get anything. Faker looking.
I think he's just distracting Caps as Owner was
doing. Even with the ward, it was a little bit too late. And now Pays very close to having his first item.
Chase onto Carrier, impelled to pull him back. Owner's on the way across, and with a battle chance, the Chain of Corruption will land, but Owner is here now, and T1 will try and turn the play around. Pays so low, flash from Skewmon gets him, a grand entrance onto Hans Summer, but the turnaround is turned into a hostile takeover by G2. They'll find 2 on them,
but instead they just go immediately, and now G2 overloading topside. 4 members top. Doran cannot play.
Caught out by the Steel Tempest. Last breath coming out from Broken Blade as well as he forces Doran away. 2 plates still remain, almost 1 on this top lane tower. 11 minutes in, G2 with 4 members strong. Owner going forward. Great handshake from Lebrov. He'll tank the tower instead. Doran has the mega quickness from the side. Chain of Corruption coming out from Summer, but he's caught with the wall of Ishtal's impact from Skewmon into the double impale! G2 always have their teammates back. Faker forced down towards the bottom side. Skewmon looking for the chase. Doran jumps the wall, but Caps is here, and he sends Doran into the afterlife. T1 try to defend, G2 turn it on its head.
Skewmon trying to burst him down. Can he finish off Faker? He has a Kingslayer.
He gets a 1-for-1. Carrier does not do the same. Caps secures that TP. Doran does. So if Caps wants to make it a 4v4 around this Drake, he needs to chase Doran out as they look for the engage on Broken Blade. The quickness lands the charm, good wind wall, but BB can't survive through them. T1 find a great pick around the Drake, and because of that, G2 unlikely to take the fight. A handshake, okay, good deal. You can have that one. You took our top laner.
Yeah, they're going to look to try to get a couple plates here. Skewmon and Lebrov not looking for a fight, just looking to keep them away from these minions here mid, as Pays and Carrier try to make their way back over to defend this tower. And that was a bit of a risky position that Broken Blade was in. He did have the flash, he had the wind wall, so he felt he was going to be in a decent spot to find that angle.
Broken Blade trying to defend this tier 1 on the bottom side, but we talk about the dashes, and Broken Blade might need to find a way out of this one. Last breath used by Faker, the sweeping blade from Broken Blade. He doesn't have the shield, and Pays will take his life.
They do the Yasuo combo to the Yasuo. They got the Lee Sin to set it up for that stolen last breath. Caps, Lebrov, and Skewmon all coming in, but Faker is still behind them. They don't know!
They flash in, they look for the engage. The hostile takeover lands, but only onto Faker, and Owner. Pays not auto-attacking his teammates. In the end, T1 able to defend for now. Pays with a good Blade Caller. A TP behind. Skewmon now on the back foot. Ishtal's impact interrupted. The weirding from Caps doesn't find its mark, and Doran's here to join the party. Skewmon with the impale only lands it onto 1, and Faker very happily will be pulled into his grasp. T1 with great reactions on the bot lane fight.
It's been about Pays and Carrier for so much of this year for T1, and when they need them most, they are stepping up. Difficult to escape from those situations, and now Doran going to be able to get back in this off that tower. One combo and you are gone, or at least you're put so low that you're out of the fight. We can see G2 just trying to force this.
T1 looking for the contest. Faker hasn't hijacked an ultimate as of yet. Sonic Wave hits onto Skewmon. Smite comes out. G2 get the Herald. T1 unable to find purchase in a way they want.
And he has just been a monster in the team fights.
Skew looking for Faker. Has the flash, has the rocket belt. Ishtar's impact comes in. Faker dashes away, uses the flash, uses the rocket belt, but Broken Blade's there for the chase. And with the impale, there's no escape for Faker. BB with his third of the game.
Nicely done there by Broken.
On that Xayah. TP towards the mid lane here by Caps. Broken Blade waiting in the darkness towards the top side. He's pushed that wave into Doran, but he doesn't want to show too easily. Doran's just gone Mega Gnar. The Drake down to 5,000. It's T1 who are sitting on it right now. Broken Blade trying to chase Doran through that topside jungle. Caps goes in across the Veil. Carrier just short of getting clipped by that handshake. Double TPs come out as Doran is matched by Broken Blade. Infernals, Drake secured for G2. Ishtar's impact coming for the follow-up. There's the Featherstorm. Pays charged into by the Rift Tower, but a great charm on the backline. Carrier finds all four of them. Pays takes out Skewmon. Between worlds we go, and to the afterlife go T1. On Summer on the chase. Doran trying to escape, but I think the G2 have got him. Broken Blade slices him in twain as T1 only Faker and Carrier remain.
The Battle Herald did so much work for G2 in that fight. They go in, they got the early Featherstorm off of Pays, and that Chains of Corruption from Hansama chained to 4 members.
A little bit too far. Skewmon finds him. Faker found and locked against the wall, and Faker in this bot lane is destined to fall. Caps secures it, a killing spree for the Aurora. Mid lane pushed in, it looks like bot lane's going to be 2. Doran allowed by Broken Blade to take this top lane tower because Carrier was nearby.
And just like that, we're back above where the gold lead was before. It is now 2.3k here, 2.4k briefly.
Faker spots him with the Scryer's Bloom. A 2-level advantage at the moment for Broken Blade, but it's going to be a 4-man advantage for T1 when the rest of their team reacts. Wind wall down, Carrier here, a grand entrance, and a swift exit for Broken Blade. The last breath, the last he breathes. T1 with great reactions.
Yeah, great reaction.
Hostile takeover between worlds combo there would have been pretty deadly as Ono is showing here on a ward.
I think he's trying to maybe look for a side lane play, but he doesn't know he's been spotted. The bot lane from T1 is in that top lane brush, I still believe. So they have 3 members up there, but all of G2 are coming. They're outnumbered, they don't know.
Skewmon will face check. Carrier and Pays are waiting. There's the quickness, they jump on Caps. Lebrov here with the bailout. Featherstorm out from Pays. The bailout on Caps won't come down in time. The dash back, the hostile takeover only hitting onto Carrier. Chain of Corruption out of Hansama. Grand Entrance gonna get him knocked up. Pays getting chased out. Slammed against the wall. Hansama opens up and Pays falls. A double for the Varus. T1 now on the back foot as Broken Blade looks for more. Needs to land the knockup. Faker dodges with the rocket belt. Carrier, Gleaming Quill for the heal. G2 might turn their attentions towards the Baron. Doran halfway to Mega.
Has no wind wall. Hostile takeover.
Hostile takeover. Only clips Lebrov. And Doran, even with the Gnar against the wall, still gets knocked up. Faker dives in. Hansama at a 3rd HP. Slammed into the wall by the Ishtar's impact. And the impact of Skewmon's Singer is felt again as Faker now on 10 HP. Chased out of the jungle. He's going to try and dodge away. Carrier's on his way across as well. But here's the Scorpion King as Skewmon finds him. Third of the game, put them on soul point.
So Pays did spend his flash in that, so it has to be some sort of E-flash that did catch him off guard. We'll see if G2 can punish Pays. Missing that summoner, it means that T1 will go to soul point. So we'll see this one more time. Cap just goes into stealth. It's got to be an E-flash to the side. Yep, just caught him with the E-flash. Brilliant play.
Impale happening on the screen as Faker uses the hijacked Impale as well. Carrier trying to get the quickness on towards the backline as the hostile takeover catches onto Faker and Doran on the back. Pays has Featherstorm available as Carrier tries to step forward. They'll jump onto Hansama, kicking back. He almost takes out Doran, but Pays gets the kill. Cap being in, but T1 are turning it around. Once again, their magic reigns supreme as T1 win out the fight.
Pays getting that pick triggers everything here for T1. He gets the pick, they force the issue, and the trade of Impales there between Faker As Carry is behind Caps. Are they going to look for the turn? They are. Here comes Faker.
Grand Entrance comes out, but across the veil goes Caps. LeBron and Broken Blade trying to trade towards the top side. Pays getting chased out by BB, but he can't get the Steel Tempers down in time. Pays gets the kill. LeBron going to get taken out by Faker as well. Between worlds we go, and into the grave goes LeBron. Caps able to survive, but look at the turn from T1. Baron buff for the next 3 minutes. Caps recalling. Carrier and Faker do not want to let him get away. They'll chase him down, and in the end,
they're pushing in multiple lanes. Doran shoving up top as T1 really starting to battle back here. They needed some big performances. They've only been swept once in international history, back in 2017. That is a long time ago. And they are trying to stave off that defeat here. As Skewmon could be in trouble.
Quickness out of Carrier. Skewmon trying to get out. They'll go for Hansama instead. The Dragon's Rage kick, though, saves him. Hansama kicked across the wall by Owner, and now with a double impale, LeBron's there with a hostile takeover as well. They'll pull them back underneath the tower. Owner takes a tower shot, still gets the kill. No, he doesn't. In fact, he went in with a resonating strike, and now Skewmon is a little bit too deep as he is going to get taken out by T1. The collapse continues. Hansama chased out by Carrier. Needs the Gleaming Quill. Needs the auto attacks. He'll get them. LeBron falls as well. Broken Blade slammed in by the Gnar. T1. It looked disastrous, but still they get a 4-for-1.
And that is what makes T1 such a special team. A mistake from one player, but the others are there to cover, there to make up for it. T1 pile in. Only 3-0'd once at internationals, and it looks like they are on the brink of guaranteeing that will not happen today. But G2 not out of this just yet. Caps is back.
The threat
and will be able to hold on.
With the Between Worlds is too great for T1 to stay around. They'll take the inhib tower and the inhib.
Roll.
Carrier steps in, Battle Dance away. Infernal Drake up in 50 seconds time would be sold for T1. Skewmon with the smite, impale used by Faker. He pulls back the Skarner, and Pays begins to open up, and Pays just rips through Skewmon. The hostile takeover dodge to the side as well. LeBron can't escape. T1 as a 5-man squad just chase them down. Between worlds we go. The quickness on the back line as Owner with the kick this time delivers Hansama into the waiting arms of his team. No sweep today, no 3-0. T1 with the resilience, with the experience, will not be denied a series.
T1 battling back here, showing some life in Game 3. And Faker smiling as they march on the Nexus. This one was a huge one, and we have got ourselves. Just park the wave outside your tower and just farm. Kled would be super spicy. He's going Kled. Oh my god. Okay, we're betting the game on top lane. This is
full top lane.
This is the polar opposite of the Sion pick, where you're just looking
at little thumbs up will turn his attentions back towards the red. Both bot lanes get their level 2s. Broken Blade trading with Doran, dismounted from Skull. And you can see the reason that G2 want to focus this bot lane if they can. Pays having an exemplary performance so far here at MSI.
Broken Blade's not level 3, he doesn't have the W.
Doran is just going to chase down Broken Blade. Kled has no way to remount. Broken Blade needs another, but Doran chops him down with the axe while Faker almost falls in the mid lane.
The pot. Broken Blade flashes back to get level 3, but it just doesn't matter. Faker might still kill Caps.
Caps flashes away, but still the winds of war from the king of mid lane. Enough for T1 to be 2-0 up.
And Caps is best in the West, but Faker is the best ever, and showing him why. Laning, not what you talk about when you talk about Faker these days, but G2 in trouble. Owner's behind him.
Owner's on a gank. We'll see the Lucent Singularity coming down. There's a snap trap as well, and Pays and Carrier can just 2v2 it. Owner comes across the wall to claim the kill.
That's classic jungler move.
So, I've got a Nimbus strike this one, man.
I needed the assist, guys. It's for the team.
Exactly.
And so they are able to take him down, but things getting a bit out of control for T1 already. G2 really going to be on the back foot. Here's another binding.
You can just see the CC chain. You can't escape it. Pays the Korean sniper.
He is dead. He will not remount. He will get killed. So he is accepting that he's just going to miss CS.
Oh my god. Again.
He's dead too.
He's just dead again. He has to snap around the snap traps and then flashes. Pays flashes for the follow, and Pays sends him to meet his maker. Faker able to escape as well in the mid lane.
All right, G2 need to take a breath, calm it down, slow it down a bit here. I feel like nerves are getting to them.
Well, Ragnarok out from Doran. He thinks he can just take this. The Olaf will get the 1-for-1, but he'll die. Denies the minions at least.
Denies the minions the wave 3 times, right? You know, you just never see it happen. And BB does have that early Tiamat, but is going to be very vulnerable to ganks, and it's going to be scary up there.
Bob looking for the focus resolve. They'll try and turn it back onto Carrier, but using that.
And Skewmon is going to be looking for a lane gank here, so we'll see if they can actually set it up. If Lebrov can get...
Broken Blade looking for mid first. He's going to jump in just as Punch comes out. There's the taunt from the shield of Duran, but Faker might just be done for as Broken Blade takes him. Meanwhile, Skewmon still waiting to see if Carrier oversteps, which he does, has to flash away. Light Binding doesn't connect. Q3 for the knockup, and Carrier, no way out for him. G2 find 2 across the map.
For Victor, for Ash, for Karma, these champions that are relying on slows and CCs and stuns to be able to keep you away. You're going to have Wukong flashing on your head with a Galio ult coming over the top, with Lucent Singularity, with all of these tools. As G2 looking to try to pressure bot, but this is a risky dive.
You can see where Faker is as well, just hovering, it's looking for that hero's entrance. Broken Blade stepping forward, Faker comes in, there's the Galio ult, the Ragnarok chasing down Lebrov, and there's no escape for the Karma. In fact, the auto stun come out, the Winds of War from Faker will take it in the end. I wonder if Doran was just waiting for his mid laner to come and pick up that gold.
It seemed like he was, because he completely stopped chasing for him there. He didn't want to overextend, he's just clearing out the wave, maybe trying to prevent a redive, knowing Faker could actually finish that off. Faker does pick up the kill. Said it was going to be a risky dive. It definitely was. They sent 4 members, but they are looking for a potential angle at a redive. They can use Kled remount to try to go for this.
Faker has flash. That's the Justice Punch as well. The wave on its way in. Broken Blade goes in for the dive. They'll jump onto Faker. Good taunt. The remount comes out. Skewmon needs to flash away, but he doesn't have that summoner. Faker finds 1 in a 1v3 dive.
You come for the king, you best not miss. Faker makes him pay in the 1v3 as Pays is getting paid on the other side of the map. He's getting all of these plates, solo gold by the way, and he's about to get that first tower gold here too, and they have 3 grubs. For the
Blade has been able to get himself a little bit of a lead, but predominantly because Doran has just been put in bad situations for a while. The gold lead on his Pays waits in the wings to see if someone's going to step forward for a headshot. Arrow comes down towards the bottom lane, and Faker just walks away after taking the tower.
Yeah, you can see BB very comfortable. Have some tricky angle when you just run really fast with that Kled also. Maybe Skewmon can hover him and they can try to get a pick there.
Lebrov going to get chased down by Doran, uses the Ragnarok, uses the Ghost. Lebrov tries to flash away, but Doran can just chase him. Skewmon with the Crescent Guard trying to get away from the Cyclone. Doran gets the kill. And Skewmon has to pop his ultimate to the clutches of T1 and of Ona.
Nicely done there by Doran. Has his first completed item on that Stride Breaker spike. And Lebrov, even with the flash, I think he tried to kind of play for the juke where he's trying to pretend that he's flashing into the pit, but did not trick Doran, and Doran is able to run him down and kill him, but we'll see if they catch Doran now.
On Skewmon, Doran pulled back by the bear trap on a rope, but Skewmon is here. Doran will die, burnt both of his summoners and his ultimate to get that kill on the Karma. Mid lane tower, they're going over to T1. There's another bear trap, almost catches him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Hansama, he's just rooted for days. The man is basically a plant with how long those roots are. And Skewmon with no ult, with no flash, with no way out. A great taunt in from Faker as T1 are flattening G2.
Oh, Pays almost went down to that tower shot, but does survive, and Dejan
continues just to push in a side lane. For G2, it is such a struggle to get back into this game, because even when you find a good pick, even when you find someone in the side lane, Doran actually pulled back. He's going to have to use the Ragnarok, trying to dismount Broken Blade, but won't be able to do it. Big ultimate down from Doran. Broken Blade doesn't have the charge, but can go in. Jousting. Look at those violent tendencies as well. Dismounted. There's the bear trap. Lebrov here, but Doran heals up. Broken Blade and Lebrov will take a kill, but now the TP in from Faker, and Carrier on his way. Counter TP used. Remount. Carrier is going to try and protect Faker as he extracts himself from the enemy jungle.
Great kill from BB again, you know, finding ways to be useful here after what was such a tough start. Yeah. And that was actually pretty clever from Doran. He waited till the Q had expired, then went for the TP out, but Broken Blade, the split second his ult came back up, he used the ult, had just enough time there. 1 second later that ult comes up, I think Doran is gone, but he bumps him with the ult, interrupts that base. And now Doran has no ult, has no TP. G2 are on this dragon here and could be slowing T1's march towards a possible soul.
There we are, looking for that light binding. Lebrov trying to keep Ona at bay. Light binding hits onto Skewmon. Faker's trying to get the taunt towards the top side as the Crescent Guard comes out from Skewmon. Broken Blade going into the pit as well. A Cyclone on the back as Hansama has a tempestuous time escaping. Lebrov going to get chased out, charged on by the Rift Tower. Broken Blade forced away as well. The Drake did go to G2. Importantly for them, they delay the soul, but with another light binding. Just clipping the heels of Broken Blade, unable to find that connection. Carrier, Lucent Singularity for the slow. Ragnarok in, Broken Blade dismounted. Doran going deeper, but won't find enough. An ace in the hole, Skewer's gonna have to block it. The final spark, not enough. Cabs takes down Doran. Faker goes in, but the remount on Skarl. Courageous from G2 as they somehow bite back in the bot side.
That looked like it was
An
going to
arrow!
be...
Oh, onto Pays! Cabs with the siphon power puts down the Hexag Ray. Good Mikhail's out of Carrier, but Skewer's on the chase. Pays shut down by Skew, and Carrier with no hope, no teammates, and no life left to live.
G2 just pulled a comeback out of nowhere in
Listen, a slight lead for Broken Blade in terms of itemization as he's finished his Black Cleaver with the Titanic Hydra. Faker the one to deal with him right now as Skewmon comes in from the side as well. They'll jump onto Faker, the dismount comes out, the Q3 Broken Blade. Where was Faker? He disappeared.
Look at the build. He's got Merc Treads, an Imperial Mandate, and a Rocket Belt. That is no protection against a Xin Zhao and a Kled, and they knew it. They just go straight in for him, burst him down under the tower. This is not the Galio of old that is full tank. This is a very squishy build that does have a lot of value because
out from G2 as they look to join Caps up with the rest of the squad. Charquaslao, instant Mikhails. Oh, wow, that was gorgeous from Carrier. But T1 are still a little bit on the back foot as Faker yet to join with his team now. Connects through mid. Light binding down. Pays puts another snap trap line down. Hungry for someone to eat one of those cupcakes. Faker being kept at bay by Broken Blade in the mid lane. The arrow still a long way from coming back off its cooldown. The Drake down to 4,000. Doran getting chased out towards the top side as Skewmon goes in. Owner with the Cyclone. Hero's entrance as well onto Hansama, who flashes across the wall, but with the Ragnarok, Doran just makes him fall, and now a second Cyclone means Skewmon goes down. A 2-for-1 so far for T1. And they will get the Drake out of it.
Yeah, and it's a split fight. It's a split fight, and now T1 want more.
Broken Blade flashing for Pays. The bear trap doesn't connect in time. Carrier forced away. Caps flashes away from Faker, but with Owner on the chase, it should be enough. LeBron flashes, trying to get Pays rooted up. Broken Blade Mikhails won't be enough to remount him. Pays makes him pay the piper, and with an ace in the hole, Caps almost falls the final spark. Not living up to its name as Caps continues to run away. There's another blast cone for him to take, and he should be able to survive with Lebrov on his way across. Faker chasing Lebrov. Pays trying to flank onto him as well as Caps does manage to extract himself, but Pays is on the flank, and Lebrov has used that blast cone. Caps puts down an Arcane Ray, Siphon Power for the move speed, TP behind by Doran. Caps is the universal taunt for T1, it seems, and with Baron available, T1 are trying to delay those resets, but in goes Pays and down goes Pays. He overstepped. G2 strike back.
Yeah, G2 are bailed out. Eventually get that chase down, but they are bailed out by the fact that they kill off Pays. It means no Baron, but then you do have that shot, but Pays,
the charge. And Charquaslao uses the clone well there. Broken Blade trying to get in with the bear trap on the rope, but won't be able to get in there. He gets dismounted immediately. Skarl very cowardly this time as Owner comes back in with category 5 as Skewmon dives forward. Pays Mikhails. The taunt on Skewmon means he can't get any deeper, and Owner goes back in. The hero's entrance comes down, but it's cancelled as Faker can't join the fray. Skewmon manages to get out. A Ragnarok forward, a taunt, it's all on Caps, but how deep are you? Broken Blade remounts, Pays steps in, and Pays now untouched. Another taunt, Broken Blade dismounted. Skewmon back alive, but the Guardian Angel will not save him.
Penta, he's going for the Penta!
Him in the middle, a 17th pentakill for the Prince.
You go for a T1, but Pays is untouched, and Pays gets the pentakill there. An incredible fight from him, stays alive at low health, is able to make them pay. As look at this clone from Owner. Owner able to block both the Enchanted Crystal Arrow and the Kled ult by so much space. And then as Pays moves forward here, Skewmon looks for the re-engage. The Cyclone comes out. Skewmon gets that Q3 knock-up in onto Pays, but T1 keep the space for him because Faker is there, because Owner is there. They buy the time, and then Doran says, you have spent too many cooldowns. The binding lands on Caps over the wall. He full sends it. Pays wins the duel against Hansama on the side, drops the chap on the GA, bursts down Broken Blade, takes out Skewmon, chases him down, and on match point at MSI,
for Pays. Doran clears out the vision.
This is going to be tough. They're going on Faker.
Only onto Faker. G2 still looking. Look at Broken Blade. He's snuck behind them. Doran as well, though perhaps caught out. 4 members of G2 trying to chase him, but he uses the ghost and gets himself out. Broken Blade still here. Justice punch forward by Faker. Pays begins to step up the final spot. The Crescent Guard and Faker's down, and now BB charges round, but the wrong way round. It's a merry-go-round for G2 as they look to try and steal this away. Pays flashes out, Skewmon down. Owner takes him, caps, takes half his health from the caliber that Pays has found. A Broken Blade though gets in with the bear trap. LeBron survives through Owner. Carry us down. T1 are down. G2 will chase them away. No end in sight yet, but again, G2 have found the 5% play they needed, but Doran has other ideas. He'll chase LeBron, he'll take the 2. G2 will kill him off in the end, but Doran evens it out.
Doran stops it from being that much worse, but how about Skewmon in these fights, finding pace? Broken Blade is almost 4,000 gold ahead himself.
He's going to chase onto Doran right here. As Doran tries to trade back onto him, it's an item advantage for the Kled right now, and you can see it paying off in the health bars. Doran forced away. The charge in as well by Broken Blade, but he's a little bit short on it as he jousts forward and misses the bear trap, and Undertow will slow him down with a TP coming in by Faker. Skewmon here to defend his top laner. Faker. Is he going to go in with the Justice Punch? No, backs away. No flashes. Broken Blade keeps Owner at bay. On the top side, Doran looking for an engage. Pays still no flash as G2 rattle through the Baron right now. It's down to 2k. The smite comes out. The final spark does not find its mark. G2 get the Baron, and Charlie Crystal is going to hit onto Carrier, but he immediately Mikhails it away. Skewmon dashing forward with becomes lightning in the audacious charge, but he's not going to find too much more. Faker gets his Justice Punch blocked by Broken Blade. A bear trap on a rope with forward might try and take the play. Broken Blade level 19, 2 ahead of Doran. Has that charge. Skewmon dashes onto Faker. The taunt comes out, the Justice Punch away as well as G2 want to take this fray, want to take this battle where the series could be decided for T1. They need another game after this for G2. For the first time in 7 years, they're on the cusp of taking down T1 in a best of 5. Owner in the smite, goes to Skew. Owner low, the Guardian Angel though still available to bring him back in the Enchanted Crystal Hour coming out as Broken Blade does need the charge to get away. Owner so low, and G2 continue to advance, continue to step forward. There's the charge away. G2 now maybe reset T1 back away through the bottom lane. Caps reset, he's not got TP. G2 just trying to keep T1 around. A taunt just wide of connecting onto Skewmon's shoes. As G2 continue to step forward, they have confidence in this. Skewmon almost gets sniped out by a headshot. Broken Blade dashes away with the jousting, and once again, Faker's taunt can't find its mark.
And look at Caps mid lane. T1 have got to get back, have got to reset. This fight has just been going forever. And I got to say, Broken Blade was the difference maker absolutely in that last one. He was threatening the flank, hold of Pace. He one-shot him.
He just absolutely eviscerates LeBron, and now G2 on the back foot. Ragnarok forward as Summer is going to get taken out. The hero finds a Faker there as well. Broken Blade having to retreat, dives back onto Owner. Meanwhile, Skewmon once again just taken out. BB killed off Owner. Caps is just off towards the top side. It's still an advantageous fight for T1 as the Lucent Singularity doesn't find its mark, but Faker is falling low. Violent tendencies! The Kled somehow finds another. The Lucent Singularity will get the slow door in there with a chase with the Undertow. Does not connect, and Broken Blade is leading them on a merry chase as he remounts onto Skull. Doran stepping forward. BB with a pocket pistol! Anything Pays can do, BB can do better. He brings out both barrels and takes down 2.
Pays knocking him down there, chasing after him. Buying so much time, though, was Broken Blade as Caps is able to push, and Lebrov faces the full power there of Pays. Carrier going to be chasing here. They wanted to try to look for Caps. They won't be able to find him. Lebrov took a headshot from. Didn't think he'd be able to make it happen.
I mean, BB finds 3 in that fight, and now he's found Ono, who has to use the Cyclone to try and get away, but there's a Hurricane warning as Hurricane BB's on his way for the chase. Ono has the Hero's Entrance coming in. Skewmon and Broken Blade now needs to get the hell out with the Enchanted Crystal out and the Crescent Guard for the knockback. Pays trying to step in the midst of that circle, but he can't get close enough. Broken Blade gets onto Pays, G2 now has a Guardian Angel, and Broken Blade is rooted up, dismounted, as he runs away from Doran, and Caps takes the kill. G2 have found 2 more. No major objective up for a minute.
Pace is going back, but Pace has no flash. This is so risky. If he gets caught, they could end the game right here.
The volley hits him. Oh, the win
RT1 willing to bet their tournament lives on a fight.
Spotted, Lightbind is going to hit him. Win becomes Lightning comes out, there's a Crescent Guard for the knockback. Skew1 needs to get to that Mega Blast Cone. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Faker getting chased out by BB, who's just barreling through him, uses the charge to interrupt the hero's entrance, and the hero makes an exit as BB.
Far ahead now. They will get Soul, they will get Baron. T1 will try to fight another day. It's a 6.3k gold lead for Broken Blade individually. It's a 3.6k gold lead for Caps. Yes, Paze is strong, but he's been capped on items for a while, and he's the only one.
The MasterCard priceless moment of the game. G2 fighting valiantly back into it. A Chem Soul and a Baron now for them. Be brave to do that in this moment as well. You have to trust yourself. You have to back yourself. G2 have done that many times before, but can you do it against the back-to-back-to-back world champions as T1 are trying to shut that door? A Ragnarok forward, they'll jump onto Caps, the final spot. Caps tries to get away, will use the flash, the inhibitor tower in the mid lane will fall, the Ragnarok falls off. Meanwhile on the bottom side, Hansama and the brother pushing forward for a second inhibitor tower of this Baron play. T1 went for the play, Ghost Ragnarok forward from Doran, but they couldn't find purchase onto Caps.
And that's double inhib now there for G2. T1 do push Caps back, do get his flash, but now they're trying to wait it out. They're trying to get the go. T1 trying to close ranks around topside. They're going to spend the Lux ult. They're trying to just clear it out and make sure that they do not get triple inhibbed. But more supers coming in here, and if they go, it is win or go home for T1. They have got to be picture perfect with their engage.
Tower in the top lane toppled. G2 pushing in. Carrier looking for the light binding. Goes wide of Hansama. T1 now relegated to defending only their Nexus towers in that top lane inhib. Broken Blade trying to distract as the Shurelias is used. Carrier steps forward, but again, between the uprights on the 2 initiation tools, Owner forced back. Enchanted Crystal hits only onto Carrier. Pays trying to get the damage down as well. Doesn't use the Mikhails, importantly. That's a tool that they will keep for the ending push. Triple inhib down, 2.5 minutes before the inhibs are back out.
No flash on Caps.
For it. Caps has no flash. An Arcane Sword comes down and Faker looks for the flank. G2 are just going to push through mid though. The Arcane Sword gets the Guardian Angel as G2 try and catch onto Dorman. Pace still here to try and defend. Broken Blade going in as well with the Ragnarok coming out. The charge away from Kled. Caps is down. Skewmon here trying to answer with one of his own as he jumps onto Faker. Lebrov headshot. The ace in the hole is going to have to be blocked by Hansama. A light binding fights them as Pace flashes forward. Hansama forced away, but Faker's here. T1 are not done with you. T1 are not done with this series. They're not done with this MSI as they wipe away G2.
But the question is, can you actually push? You're triple inhibbed. There's supers everywhere. Double supers coming in through every lane. So what they're going to go for here is they're going to try to go for the Elder. But Skewmont is still alive. If he could steal that, that would be huge. And even if they get it, I don't know if it gets them a win here. Broken Blade is TPing back, and he's going to look for a potential fight. He has flash.
No flash. Pace has no flash, nor does Carrier. No Mikhails either. Pace has the Seraphim on his shoulders, that Guardian Angel, and that will be the Elder Drake. G2 decide they do not want to take this battle. They'll find another one. In this war, we have seen battle after battle after battle. Is it just a Baron rush from not a quick Baron? It's only Skewmon doing it right now. His owner steps forward, spotted out by the far side Oration. Broken Blade, seeing if he can get in, but Pace is still there to defend alongside Faker. Recall coming out from Pace, and the resets coming out from T1. It will be a Baron for Elder exchange in the end.
Which favors the Baron, because you can just wait out the Elder. The Baron is taken second here, and I don't think T1 are going to get a fight right now. Owner knows there's no point.
He's dead. That is a huge amount of damage as Caps tries to step forward. The inhibitors respawn for T1 in bot and mid. The top lane one still 43 seconds away as the Elder has expired, which is why G2 feel that they can step further forward towards T1. Broken Blade's going to walk over that trap line, takes one. Caps slowed with the undertow. T1's flash is still not quite back up. Doran has one, but Pace still doesn't have his, nor does Faker. G2 stepping forward. No flash on Hansama. Skewmons is about to come off cooldown.
Caps just lost half his health. It looked like an ult snuck in there from Pace. No one blocked it.
No TP as well for Caps. He's reliant on his teammates, reliant on that Inspire shield, slowed up by the Lucent Singularity. Broken Blade building up a huge minion wave here.
Yeah, they're
Quad
gonna get triple
supers.
nipped once again.
And now T1, all hail the defense. Can you pull it out of the hat? Can you find something magical? You've done it so many times before with the Arcane Storm coming out. Paze is forced to walk away. The inhibitor on the top side about to fall to Broken Blade as T1. They need to heal. They need to get back up. The wave's not quite here yet for G2, but the Nexus now is stuck.
Here they go!
The Cyclone! The Cyclone! Paze assassinates Caps as Dorman gets on the backline. Dorman falls. Broken Blade just looking for the Nexus. Broken Blade's going to charge around as Skuma's there too. But G2, after 7 years, manage to topple T1.
Kings have fallen. T1 loses to G2 in the lower bracket at MSI. It's a stolen Nexus.